So I, I showed you in my last video, my son was actually already sleeping on a floor bed, a Montessori floor bed that we made out of an IKEA Kura bed. And well, to be honest, it didn't really work out. We tried several months since he was 8 months and is now 16 months. So for the last 8 months or maybe 6 months, I don't know, I don't really remember when we started. But anyway, we it didn't work out because he wakes up a lot during the night. He still I still nurse him, and yeah, he still wakes up a lot during the night. So it just was not working out because I had to get up several times during the night, at least one time, but most of the nights at least twice. And it was just too exhausting. I was really just really tired. Yeah, it didn't work out. So we decided to put again a sidecar bed. This is the same as from the other video from when he was younger. So he was actually sleeping here between 6 months and like 8 to 10 months. I don't remember when we stopped using it. Um, and now we actually made some modifications because it's bigger and yeah, gets more dangerous. So these are the things we modified. So we took out 3 bars. This bed actually has the possibility already to take out 3 bars. That's one of the reasons why I chose this bed. So we took it out, and it can definitely enter and leave through here. That it does very well with no problem. He finds it fun. He thinks it's like a game, right? Then we also had to take out this part here, the foot of the bed, the feet of the bed, because he was just trying to climb it. So he was just trying to go over it. And he knows how to leave the bed because he's been sleeping in our bed already for a few weeks now because, yeah, I couldn't stand getting up anymore. So I taught him how to leave the bed, and he knows how to leave the bed with feet first, so that's no problem. But he was trying because here he could not lift feet first, and he could only lift through that little exit. He just thought it was easier to climb over it, so we had to take it out. It's no problem because he never rolls to this side when he's sleeping. He always sometimes he turns, but he never really. It's very far away. I think it's very unlikely that he rolls down. The floor is also not so much lower, so much. It's not a big fall if he falls also, but I don't think he will fall. And this way he can easily leave. So we decided to do that way. Another thing we did differently is because last time, because there was this hole here. See, I don't know if you can see. There was to the bed ends here, and then this part continues. So there was this hole here, and before we used what is in German called a love bridge, and which is basically a T made of foam, and the bottom of the T actually was always like falling through this hole, so it was pretty uncomfortable. I always had to adjust it. So this time my husband put this board here. He actually screwed it there. Other than that, it's the same. So we use this elbow. I don't know what this called. This little. It's like a nail made of metal, and one part is screwed to the bottom, to the feet of the bed, and the other part is going behind the bed, so it's going like this. And it's pretty stable. You cannot move it. See, it's really very stable. It was already like that when he was younger. That's the same. Then of course we have to cut here also this part because yeah, it's big like this, and we cut this and made it round so that it doesn't hurt himself. Also this part here, this ended up being straight because I show you here. Here, as you can see, this is straight. So yeah, we had to also make it round. So we made it round so that it's not dangerous for him. And continuing here, so instead of using the love bridge, this time what I did was, because the love bridge is a T, but it's actually pretty thin. I would say it's maybe like this thickness, something like that, and it got pretty hard for me to lie here. So instead what I did was I ordered this from Amazon. It was actually a beer bench. So it was pretty cheap. I got huge amount for like 15 euros or something because it's for beer bench, yeah. And then we just put this. So we put this underneath the mattress and then the mattress on top, and then we made the drawing to see the exact size we needed. And now, as you can see, it's really perfectly, because one problem is that our bed has this big thingy here, so it was very uncomfortable to lie on top of this wood. So now I put here my blanket, my sheet on top. This is the same as we were doing before when he was younger. So we just put it like this through it, and then it fits perfectly. And I mean, for this age, I think it's okay. There's this tiny little gap. There is no other gap, so this is perfectly tight. When you move, so when I lie in bed, it does do like this. So I wouldn't do this maybe if he was younger. If he was younger than 1 year old, I think I would prefer the love bridge. I would try and make another construction. But for now, I think this is perfectly fine. I mean, it's just a tiny little crease here. And it's really only when I lie on top of this, which I usually don't. I mean, I sleep here. So if I sleep here, it doesn't, yeah, it opens a little bit, but it's not much. I'll show you better. Yeah, it's not much. So I think this gap is acceptable. For, I mean, as I said, he's now 16 months old, so that for me is acceptable. If he was younger, I would prefer the love bridge, because the advantage of the love bridge is it's a very thin thing, but it goes with blood. So the T, let's say it would go, the bottom part of the T goes here, and then the T goes on top of both matrices. So it really makes like a very flat surface. You can see that on my other video that I have from when he was younger. So if for a younger baby, I think the love bridge, so to say, is better. But for now, this is much more comfortable because it's much thicker. So I mean, I still feel it. I'm not going to lie. I still feel it. I still feel the wood. But since I stay here maybe like 20 minutes maximum to make him fall asleep while breastfeeding, it's perfectly endurable. It's really not a problem. So I like this solution. Now, one thing is that I still have the bedside table here. In my other video, the first one from when he was younger, I had another thing that my husband built me for the nursing pillow. And now actually what we're going to do, still have to do, is we're just going to put just a board on the wall that is this size here, because I have this box here that has all these things that I don't want him to touch, right? So this is a good size, and then I can still have my water bottle and things like that. So maybe until here, and very flat, because also one thing is that he's currently standing over here to try and reach my things, and it also gets a bit dangerous. If this is smaller, then it won't really try, he won't stretch himself as much. There is not the danger of him falling. So that's also one of the reasons we will still do that. But yeah, so basically this is it. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments.